The last group of Talons in the tail position. I looked down on the battlefield, and a fierce cold touched my heart. Time sped back to normal, as did my vision. My fleet shot forward, obeying my order to advance, raggedly at first, but coming back into formation quickly. The first rank of 6 enemy missile cruisers jumped out. Fire missiles as soon as they come in range. Fire hive torpedoes as soon as you can get a target for them. Confirmed. Midgard fired first, as if they'd been waiting for us to arrive. 4,800 capital ship missiles headed towards us. Talons streamed through the jump point, going the other way, to attack the American fleet on the other side. 50 mosquito launchers belched in response. Our missile launchers fired a second later. The second rank of missile cruisers jumped. A wall of Talon missiles headed towards us. The hives fired off salvos of torpedoes. It looked like they would arrive at much the same time as our missiles. I sat there watching. There was nothing else I could do now. The bridge around me was silent, as everyone's attention was glued to the scanner. I zoomed it in so only the space between us and the jump point was visible. Get the salvage droid out of there, Jane. Confirmed. It had played its part, sneaking us a look at the enemy position without revealing our presence. There was no point in it or the comnav sat it carried being destroyed in the fighting. Any sort of plan was out the window. Midgard had surprised me this time and given us no time to adapt. All we could do was slug it out. Missiles met mosquitoes, and space in front of us lit up. The third rank of missile cruisers jumped. Our missile launchers fired a second time, this time aimed at the remaining wall of missile cruisers, still waiting to jump. A cloud of Talons were in front of them. 24 missile cruisers exploded in the space of 3 seconds. Point defenses opened up at the approaching anti-fighter missiles. Several missiles impacted on Big Mother's shields, and I checked to see what was happening fleet-wide. The corvettes were having the hardest time, but most other ships were holding their own. Corvettes, duck behind a bigger ship before you lose too much shielding. I watched them all fall out of position and move into protected spaces. Their shields began to improve. The last 6 missile cruisers jumped out. Shit, I said, as I realized what was about to happen next. What? Asked Allison. Our last salvos of missiles are going to jump through into Miami. Oh. No one ask how bad that is, please. I don't know. Duh, said Amanda and Alicia together. The last salvos of missiles vanished into the jump point as expected. The next wall of incoming Talon missiles launched at us. The mosquito launchers belched again. All ships launch FFs. The Talon cloud surged towards us. Now they weren't trying to protect their capital ships. 720 fighters. They started winking out almost immediately. The fleet kept up the missile launches. The cloud surrounded us. Point defense turrets sought out missiles, corvette and destroyer guns sought out Talons, and they continued to wink out. Big Mother pilots, launch. Corvettes and fighters break and attack. About bloody time, said a British voice. Gun buses, camels, Excaliburs, and a Centurion launched and joined with the other corvettes in dogfighting Talons. Sir, asked Lacey, who was in the assault frigate General Custer. Go. Custer dropped from underneath Big Mother and dived into the middle of the cloud. Normally suicidal for a frigate, this one could dogfight with the best of them. It was designed for me, and whatever I flew handled like a fighter, even Big Mother. Every fiber of my being wanted to dive Big Mother in after Custer. I resisted. I found myself checking what guns I could link to my joystick and discovered Big Mother had the same gun and front launcher setup as Gunbus did, so technically I could dogfight her the same way. The mind boggled, though, and I resisted even more strongly. Big Mother was longer than a cruiser, but shorter than a battleship. Dogfighting in the middle of a fleet was out of the question. All the same, my fingers itched. The number of Talons dropped to below 100, and they peeled away from the fleet, trying to escape back towards Midgard. Pursue! Our smaller ships went after them, while the larger ones continued launching missiles. 50 Talons, 29, 13, none. I breathed a sigh of relief and drained the remaining water in my bottle. I couldn't recall actually drinking from it, but obviously I had.